Hi guys, Frog Remy here, and no, Sarah is not talking. I'm just pointing the camera to her because I have nothing else to point to. So you see, today I'm doing kind of an unusual video. It's for school, and I've only done this like once or twice before. But it's a book review and report, and it doesn't have to be for school. It's just that the whole reason this video is here is because I had to do something for school, and my class will probably be watching it tomorrow. Well, like on Friday, if you're not sure on which day this is. Yeah, they'll be watching it. Hi guys, if you're watching. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why I'm pointing to Sarah, for anybody who does know in my class, I don't show my face. And yeah. Anyways, this book review is on a book called Island of Dragons, the 7th book in a series called The Unwanteds. So I'm just going to be pointing at the computer since I have nothing else to point to. Yeah, and this is blacked out for anybody who doesn't know because I don't share my actual name on YouTube, so it's just blocking out my name. So yeah, Island of Dragons book review by Beep. So what are my opinions on Island of Dragons? Well, first let me tell you some background information. Island of Dragons is the 7th book in a series called The Unwanteds. In fact, sadly, it is the last book in the series. But don't worry, a new series called The Unwanteds Quests will be coming out in spring 2017. Anyways, this book is by an amazing author named Lisa Mcmann. Not McGann, as my mom often says, but McMahon. It came out spring 2016, about 7 months ago. A fairly new book. This book follows Alex, a young mage, which, in the book, means leader of their land, who is selected by Mr. Today, the old mage and also a former character that is dead as of the 2nd book, Island of Silence. He and a few hundred other people live in a magical land called Artime. Artima, I mean, because of that little accent on the E, where they stay in a giant magical mansion with about 20 or 30 living statues. Yes, that's right, living statues. This needs to be fixed. Oh, look, my birdie's joining us. These people are so magical that they can cast spells, create spells, and very magical people, such as Alex and Mr. Today, are able to bring statues to life. Some other main characters in these books are Lanny, Samheed, Henry, Sky, Crow, Aaron, Simber, a winged cheetah statue that can fly, and Florence, a giant woman statue made of ebony. Whatever. In this specific book, the people of Artima think that they are finally at peace. The story starts off with Pan, who is a giant water dragon that they had met in their previous book, telling Artima that Karkanos, a giant crab who is actually an island called the Island of Legends, that quite a few other magical creatures lived on, but not wielding magic, for example a statue, a talking deer, and a talking snow leopard named Lazo, who floated a few inches off the ground, was becoming sick. Henry, the main healer of Artima, went with Spike, Alex's talking whale that was not actually a statue, but a creature made from some other material, and Florence the ebony statue, who rode on Pan. Henry took a very magical medicine with him that, while healing Karkanos, would make him live forever. He arrived just in the nick of time, before Karkanos went sailing down a giant waterfall with all of his inhabitants. You can already tell that this story is very weird. After saving Karkanos, Henry, Spike, and Florence stayed to celebrate while Pan went back to Artima, having a completely different problem of her own. After delivering the news of Karkanos' recovery to Alex, she requested help with her 5 children. Pirates roamed the sea, and she was scared for them. She wanted Alex to make wings for her children, so he put all of his efforts into making wings for them. He was soon met with success. However, the wings would not grow with the young dragons, so they would eventually cease to work when they began growing. Then, Aaron, Alex's twin brother, decides to come with him, for he wanted to return to his newfound home, the Island of Shipwrecks, an island where 3 hermit scientists, Ishibashi, Sato, and Ito, lived. He had ended up on there by accident, and had quickly morphed from a villain to a protagonist in a matter of a couple months. He had grown a bond with the scientists and was eager to return, and after giving the wings to Pan for her kids, Alex brought Aaron home. However, it was when Alex was about to leave Aaron at the Island of Shipwrecks when news reached him that Artima was about to be obliterated by their neighboring island, Island of Silence. They'd previously become enemies with them, but the Island of Silence was prepared to destroy them completely now. So Aaron decided to come back so that he could help, but first learned the fact that he had actually died when ending up on the island of shipwrecks, and Ishibashi used the same medicine that Henry used to revive Karkanos, a medicine that would make him live forever. However, Aaron still left, now even more determined, and they arrived just in time to begin organizing their defenses. Now Florence, Henry, and Spike were still gone, which left Alex very worried. Florence usually organized things like this, and Henry was their main healer. Alex thought about giving up, but was greatly chastised by Simber and was convinced not to. So he was able to place out different teams around the island and on a couple boats to pick off a few enemies on the approaching ships. However, it was not just the people of the Island of Silence that were there, but were also pirates on the island next to them, the Island of Fire, which was in the third book. Both were angry at the island and were ready to take it over. And because Alex could not convince them otherwise or offer them something in trade that he was willing to do, they requested Alex to return a few of the escaped citizens from Island of Silence that didn't even want to go back, and 10 million pieces of gold, which he didn't have, for just a couple of examples. So he was forced to engage them with war. Now, we're only halfway through the book, and the war doesn't stop until the end. Here's a basic summary of the battle. The pirates had shields that resisted spells, so their main weapons wouldn't work. Aaron got some necessaries and wanteds, different classes of people from the land of Quill, which was on the other side of the island, but not very important since their land had been almost completely destroyed in the previous book, to help them on account of that it was their island too. Liam, a major character in the previous book, died. Aaron went deep into the jungle and recruited a few creatures and statues from there to help with the fighting. Florence returned and told Alex that he had not covered one spot on the island. Alex had thought it unnecessary, but quickly realized his error. Alex almost surrendered again, but Simber wouldn't let him, and he kept going. Henry and Spike finally arrived, but were not major help to the battle other than Henry being able to get up to the injured, but not the fighting. Karkanos somehow made his way across the ocean to help Arteme with the battle. Many slaves from Island of Silence and Fire began to turn on their own islands and begin fighting for Artema. Bok the Golden Deer from the Island of Legends died. Crow, a boy from Island of Silence that escaped, took Thisbe and Pfeiffer, twin younger sisters of Alex and Aaron who were also toddlers, into a giant rock to hide in. Thousands of ravens came and tried to take back the inhabitants of Island of Silence. A few ravens got into the rock and began to attack Crow, Pfeiffer, and Thisbe. Pfeiffer grabbed a raven and screamed, crushing it, and all the ravens turned to smoke. A pirate tried to steal Pfeiffer and Thisbe while they were escaping, and Thisbe blew him up by pointing to him and saying, "Boom!" very angrily. Pan arrived to help and had her 5 children play with the pirates, teaching them how to attack. The dragons only attacked people that were more evil than good, and they were able to help clear out the battle. Soon, the Artemans finished the battle, barely winning. Their numbers had been thinned tremendously, but those who had survived saw victory. Now we're near the end of the book. However, when clearing up the mess, Alex stumbles onto a seemingly empty boat, only to be captured. He fought off the pirates and was able to escape with the help of Spike. However, when he woke up in the hospital ward, it was only to find out that one of his arms couldn't be used again. Unfortunately, it was both his drawing hand, one of his main strengths was drawing, and spellcasting. He was sentenced to despair, and offered his role of mage to Aaron. However, he declined it, stating that if Alex couldn't compensate, then he wasn't as creative as everyone had thought, was he? Alex realized that he was right and continued to be mage. Get off my keyboard!